Good morning, friends. Ash here with another political update. It's November the 10th, 2020, and I think I decided I'm going to name this channel WATN News, which is We Are the News. So from now on, I'll be WATN. So I hope that's cool with everybody. Uh, I like that concept, and I like the idea that everybody can be a news person if they do their own research and start to check into stuff, right? So I wanted to start today's briefing off with a Newsmax article, DOJ's Election Crimes Chief Steps Down, by Jeffrey Rodak. Richard Pilger, Director of the Election Crimes Branch of the Department of Justice, has resigned from his post. The move came after Attorney General Bill Barr issued a memo to federal prosecutors authorizing them to probe quote-unquote specific allegations of voter fraud ahead of the results of the presidential race being certified, according to NBC News. Quote, having familiarized myself with the new policy and its ramifications and in accord with the best tradition of the John C. Kenney Award for Exceptional Integrity and Professionalism, my most cherished departmental recognition, I must regretfully resign from my role as Director of the Election Crimes Branch. Well, you didn't do your job. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? And now we have DOJ Barr has also stepped in and announced that there will be a DOJ investigation into voter irregularities in the 2020 election. So Barr finally is stepping in. I think he sees that there's enough in evidence of this here that an investigation can now be launched. I wanted to jump over here to this story I was reading earlier. Conditions ripe for voter fraud, town hall opinion piece. Latoya Lewis told investigators she was trying to reach her voter registration quotas when she registered the same people multiple times. She was working for the now defunct liberal group Acorn. In 2009, the Milwaukee woman pleaded guilty to election fraud charges. She received 1 year behind bars, but the judge stayed the sentence. Lewis ended up serving 90 days and was given 3 years probation. Lewis is one of dozens of people who have been convicted of voter fraud in Wisconsin, according to the Heritage Foundation's election fraud database. Also, by the way, I noticed another thing real quick. If you watched like Whoopi Goldberg and The View and all these people on the liberal side of things in the last couple of days, they're really pushing the idea that there's no voter fraud and how dare you question this result. And, so you could see that there's a massive push on. They're trying to sell you on this story, and the majority of America is just not buying it because we see all this rampant voter fraud all over the place. So I just wanted to bring that up real quick. And we got a dirty voter rolls problem, Wisconsin Elections Commission left open the door for fraudsters when it refused to clean up the state's voter rolls, leaving in place the name of more than 100,000 voters who appeared to have moved. So this is the same thing that went on in, Nevada, where you have thousands of people that moved and they never cleaned up the voter rolls. And now they're saying maybe over 3,000 people may have voted. It may be as high as 9,000. So they're trying to now clean up the voter rolls in Wisconsin. It's a little late. And there was another story that there was also a possible glitch in Wisconsin as well that sent votes from Trump to Biden. So if that's the case, here's a good piece from Newt Gingrich, somebody I think is pretty well read and well versed on this topic. We still don't know if Trump or Biden won the election despite what you've been told. Republicans focus on campaigns, Democrats focus on elections. While that difference may seem minor, even semantic, it's one of the great differences in American politics and largely explains what we are now living through. And it talks about the machine that they built, and, this Dominion program is now turning out to be, from what I've heard, was used by the CIA to affect elections in other countries. So it's possible that this whole thing was just set up as a total scam program from the beginning, and they just used it thinking nobody was going to figure it out. I mean, these people got to be stupid. How can you not? How can you do that much crime and fraud in the open like that and expect nobody to notice it? Okay. Um, yes, there was an election fraud. The question is how much. From the Federalist, um, by Margot Cleveland, who I think is an excellent writer. Was the fraud just at the fringes, or was there fraud on the rampant scale? Former Illinois governor and convicted corruption connoisseur Rod Blagojevich suggested Friday. My fellow Americans, the people of this nation have spoken. They have delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, Joe Biden proclaimed late Saturday night after news outlets declared him the winner of the 2020 election. Biden's speech came while several battleground states remain mired in too close to call tallying and litigation, and while recounts promised to delay the official outcome in the additional states Democrats claim as securing Biden 279 electoral votes. If history is a guide, the certified winner will match the press's preordained victor, but all Americans should nonetheless want the process to proceed because we know there was fraud and we know there was illegal votes tallied. The only question is how much and who was complicit. Was the fraud just at the fringes, or was there fraud on the scale? Former Illinois governor and corruption connoisseur felon Rod Blagojevich suggested. The question is, are the Democrats stealing votes in Philadelphia? My answer is the Pope Catholic? It's a time-honored tradition, Blagojevich said. Big Democratic-controlled cities like Chicago, my hometown, Philadelphia, to do precisely what they're doing now. I've never seen such a magnitude because this, I think, is an indication of just how widespread it is, how deep it is. And I don't think it's just confined to Philadelphia. My instincts, again, coming out of Chicago Democratic politics, my instincts tell me it's going on in Atlanta, it's going on in Detroit, it's going on in Milwaukee, it's going on in Las Vegas. Blagojevich continued, it's like what Justice Powell said about pornography. You can't define it, but you know when you see it. And so, there's enough, now we have enough evidence that there's massive fraud going on in multiple states. It's not just one state. Coming out of Gateway Pundit, breaking, top DOJ official overseeing voter fraud quits after Barr authorizes federal prosecutors to pursue, quote, substantial allegations of voting irregularities before 2020 election is certified. So again, in a memo, U.S. Attorney Barr wrote that investigations may be conducted if there are clear and apparently credible allegations of irregularities that, if true, could potentially impact the outcome of a federal election in an individual state. In response to Barr's memo, Richard Pilger, the top DOJ official overseeing voter fraud investigations, quit. Richard Pilger is a deep state swamp creature who worked closely with Lois Lerner at the IRS in the Obama days to target Tea Party organizations. Okay, so another bad guy was removed. Also, by the way, Mark Esper was fired yesterday. That's a key thing because Esper was a problem, and he was possibly one of the ones that was pushing the coup from the inside, working with the military against Trump to try to either storm the White House later or we don't know. But so he's been removed and an underling has been put into his place. As you can see here from the Gateway Pundit, breaking exclusive system glitch, quote unquote, also uncovered in Wisconsin. Reversal of swap votes removes lead from Joe Biden. Now, Wisconsin's only 10,000 difference. If they switch those 10, I mean, I'm fairly confident Wisconsin will be back in Trump's camp at some point when they look into all this. When this glitch is confirmed, it will result in a 19,500 vote gain for Trump, making the Wisconsin race a total toss-up. There is now a pattern of events we have uncovered across the country where votes are being taken from Republicans at all levels and transferred to competing Democrats in offsetting amounts. These are not random because in every case, votes are moved from Republicans to Democrats. This is beginning to appear like a strategy used by the Democrats to steal the election. We first reported on a system glitch as it was labeled in Michigan, which switched 6,000 votes back to President Trump. And here we covered that article. And another example was uncovered in Oakland County, Michigan, where again a Republican won his race as a result this glitch is being reversed. huge corrupted software used in Michigan County stole 6,000 votes, and Trump is also used in all swing states and uses Chinese computer parts in its machines. Then in Pennsylvania, a glitch was uncovered where nearly 20,000 votes were moved from President Trump to Biden. When this is confirmed, it will result in Biden's lead being cut by 40,000 votes in Pennsylvania, bringing this race back to just about even. And that's true because it's only about 6,000 vote difference. Breaking, another system glitch captured live on CNN, and I posted that yesterday. That's from this one. The first one that was posted about CNN, just for clarity, occurred in the 2018 election and was also caught live on film, on TiVo, or on a recorded, on the election being recorded, and someone playing it back found it. So these people are going to be undone by like TiVo basically and stuff like this because back in the day you could record it on VHS tape and then you'd have to watch through, try to fast forward and pick up. It would be very difficult. But with things like TiVo now, you can record the entire election. You can go through it frame by frame at your own leisure and find this stuff. Um, the article goes on. Then we found approximately 6,000 votes which were taken from Trump and moved to Biden in Georgia due to a glitch. So again, Georgia's only 10, 11,000 difference. You're starting to see that with all these glitches repaired and the votes go back to where they should go, a lot of these races could start changing in a big way. Not just Michigan. Not just Wisconsin, but Georgia as well. That's two big states right there that he's probably going to win, in my opinion. What a mess. System glitches favoring Democrats are becoming an epidemic across the swing states. So, we're figuring out what you did. Now, tonight, we have identified approximately 10,000 votes that were moved from Trump to Biden in just one Wisconsin county. This information came from an individual who saw this happen in Rock County, Wisconsin. On election night, the results of the county were presented during the evening and showed that President Trump won Wisconsin in 2016. At 10:59, the votes came in, and the race was close with both candidates at around 29,000 ballots. Then by 11:12 p.m., President Trump had taken a nearly 1,000-vote lead on Biden with 31,000 votes to Biden's 30,000. You can see here that it's close, that Trump takes the lead. At 11:21, these results had not changed much. Then at 11:43, more votes came in, and they showed Trump had taken a commanding lead at 46,649 to Biden's 37,133. This was a 9,500 vote lead for Trump. But then suddenly at 11:57, these votes had swapped. Biden was reported with 46,649, and Trump was reduced to Biden's former total of 37,133. These votes had swapped from the president to Biden. Again, a swap from a Republican to a Democrat. The net impact was 19,000 votes. So let's try to make this bigger. You can see here that it looked like Trump was up 46,649 to 37,000. And then they switched it. And then when it next came up, Biden had 46,649. And Trump had 37-1. So they just totally switched the votes around. They put the Trump's votes into Biden. It's unbelievable what they did. This is just, I've never seen anything like it. We checked these numbers again tonight from a different source, and the final numbers are still showing Biden ahead of President Trump by the same 9,516 votes. So there it is. Currently, the race in Wisconsin is showing Biden with a lead of 1,630,570 votes to President Trump's 1,610,30,000 votes. When this adjustment is confirmed, Biden will only hold a 1,508 vote lead. Wow. So the question is going to be, when are they going to fix Wisconsin? When is those votes going to go back, and is Trump going to be able to take it? This, of course, is before any of the hundreds of thousands of questionable votes showing up for Biden in Milwaukee early in the morning after the election are validated. So Milwaukee looks like it's going to be an issue. There might be overvotes there. I heard that some of these states had 90% voter turnout, which is really, really odd, which is rare, which is like way higher than it normally is. So maybe it's time to classify these glitches that go only one way in the Democrats' favor as a strategy to steal the election, not a glitch. Yeah, it's basically how they're doing it. It's not that hard to figure it out, is it? I wanted to end with this article from the Washington Post. It's an opinion piece. It says, "Think the Constitution lets voters pick the president?" Better read it again. And it goes on to say, the problem with the Electoral College isn't just that it produces outcomes contrary to what a majority of voters want. This year, another bug in the Electoral College machinery, the prominent role of state legislatures in choosing electors, could prove even more problematic. Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, which together with the 12th Amendment governs how presidents are chosen, explicitly grants the legislature of each state the sole authority to choose the manner, quote unquote, of appointing members of the Electoral College, who in turn cast the state's vote for president. The Supreme Court's 2000 decision in Bush v. Gore made clear that state legislatures have near absolute power to control these procedures. Just this year, the court reiterated how far-reaching this power is, ruling that states have the authority to prevent so-called faithless electors from ignoring the popular vote. In other words, although voters might be under the impression that they get to choose the president, in fact, the Constitution does not mandate that role. Ordinary voters have a say in the process only as a matter of legislative grace within each state, not as a consequence of constitutional protection. So you can see here that that's, people have to realize you vote, but you don't actually choose who the president is. That's how the individual states do that when they bring their electors to the fore and they vote. So, people need to understand that. And they need to understand there's a process in place here that needs to play out, and that there's many, many irregularities in this vote process, and that has to be remedied and dealt with. And so I think when they look into this Dominion program further, they're going to realize what it is, that it has machinery in it from China, that it's used to affect other elections, and that's really all it ever was made for. And again, this is going to get back to affecting, in my mind, it works on the same system that the previous fake system worked on, which was it gets into the GEM system, and once it's hacked into, any vote tallies in the entire nation, from county level to state level to the whole thing, can be changed. You could change individual numbers in one particular county, and you could go all the way up to the state level and change the whole thing that way too with that program. All you got to do is add votes from one side to the other. And they're calling that a glitch. Yeah, it's a glitch when, 19,000 votes disappear from one guy and they go in the other guy's pocket. It's a glitch. No, that's vote switching. That is vote switching. It's completely illegal. So with that, I think a lot of these states are going to start flipping in the next couple weeks. Wisconsin, for sure. Georgia, for sure, I think. I think Trump's still going to win Arizona and others. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. Just want to do a little update for you, and hope you have a wonderful day. Talk soon.